What's up, everybody? My name is Brascus, and welcome to Let's Play Necropolis. I had been dying for this game to come out, and I kept checking and kept checking and kept checking, and every time it just said, release will be summer of 2016. And surprise, it came out on the 13th, and I had no idea. And so I immediately, when I found out about it, I downloaded it and played it on my lunch break at work. And then I went home and I started playing it, and I only just recently finished it, and so I wanted to show you guys the game and give you my thoughts on it, given that I have completed it. So I know what I'm doing, I've played through the whole game, I know what to expect, and I kind of want to fill everybody in on it. Edit character. Wait, oh, sorry, that's right. So you can do this to change whether you're a son or a daughter. Will be a son. And you can choose your colors. We're going to go with the Son of Thra. And we'll start the game. Codexes contain the secrets of the ages. Within a book, the truths of the world are pulled asunder, except for those by Edmund of the Stairs. That guy's a freaking hack. One thing that a lot of people seem to dislike and like at the same time is the humor of the game. I really enjoyed it, but some people felt that it kind of... once more I am roused. I hope you last longer than the previous adventurer. He was hardly worth the effort. So a lot of people seem to feel like the comedy kind of took them out of the experience, where it should have been serious and explained what was happening or given them some foreboding message. It sort of threw humor instead. And I actually kind of like it, because it fits the whole tone of the game. If you ever watched the trailers for the game, it didn't take itself super seriously. It looked cool. Gods, kings, and monsters all obey the edicts of controller layout. Indeed they do. And so, I think it's great. It fits with the tone of the game. It was pretty much what I expected from the game. The trailers didn't mislead me. I didn't feel like it was going to be this epic descent with, you know, layers upon layers of meaning. It was going to be a fun little dungeon crawl. Speaking of, let's get to work on the enemies. Which also brings me to my next point. A lot of people didn't like the combat all that much. They felt it was clunky or uncoordinated. I disagree. It's slower, but there's timing involved. You just have to know what you're doing, and that's part of the challenge to the combat. I feel like a lot of people that reviewed the game and reviewed it with less favor simply were expecting it to be something else, and rather than enjoy it for what it is, they criticized it for what it wasn't. Just something I don't quite agree with. Now, I'm not saying that their points aren't valid. Ah, yes, here we are. Because they are. They have every right to expect something else out of a game, and when they didn't get it, that's okay. But I really enjoyed it for what it is rather than what it could have been or what it wasn't. So we're going to talk to the shopkeeper real quick. At the end of my adventure, after I'd earned all of my gems, it gave me bonus skill points or tokens. I'm not sure what they call them. And that's the little symbol with the circle and the triangle. You can see I've got 23 of them in the top right corner. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock a couple more colors for future characters. I don't have 781 gems. If I did, I might consider buying the Sword of Cassus just so I could get a better weapon faster. But we've already got an old longsword and a footman's buckler. So we've got tier 1 armor and tier 0 sword and shield. I wonder where that leads. You can also see that the pyramid, the brazen head, or whatever his name is, has given us, down there in the bottom left, we can gather 9 things of food, decompose diggers, and exterminate vermin. Doing that will also net us extra skill points. I just want to be careful here. I can use them to kill the pyramid, if I'm careful. Or one another, even. That's it, come on. Focus on him. There we go. And now we have a rank 1 shield, which we'll just go ahead and pick up right away. And then we don't actually want 2 shields. I don't need the Footman's Buckler. It's a 0 rank shield, so we're just going to drop it. Pretty much you should always break things, too. There tends to be gems in them, and gems are important. They are used for a couple things. They can be used to purchase various items from some shop owners, but I'd say that their primary use is really more to help you level up. Oh boy, I need to back up here. I'm kind of getting caught. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. Got a little sloppy there. Nope. Wah! Hoodah! No bones. And now if I want to, I could pick up a Screamer Blade, but I really like the longsword, at least in the beginning. So you've seen the light attacks. There are also heavy attacks, which are just like that. But using a heavy attack will deplete your stamina bar in the bottom right corner. And not just deplete it like it does when I slash the weapon, but actually reduce the maximum. The way you get those back is by ingesting food, like the standard rations that I've got there. If you can kill them, it's also worth it to do that. They tend to drop potions and magical scrolls and whatnot. And these guys are screamers. They're aggravating. They tend to spawn extra enemies. When they scream, they basically call for reinforcements. In the early levels, it's not so bad, but when you get to some of the later ones, it starts to build up, and they get a lot of reinforcements. Too bad, so sad, you missed. Okay. I haven't seen any rats. I'm not actually sure what the decomposed diggers thing is. Have I done that? No. I think that's referring to some of the enemies, but we'll have to find out. Onward and upward, guys. Another screamer. Ooh, shoot. Should have been blocking. You'll have to forgive me if I'm a little sloppy. I just got done with my other character who had about 4 times as much health and tier 4 armor and weaponry. Whereas this one's using, I guess I've got a tier 1 shield and tier 1 armor and a tier 0 sword. So, takes more hits than I'm expecting, does less damage. Nope. Wow. Wow. 4 hits to kill one of them. I can do that. Wow. And now your turn. Bring it on. And the 4th one kills him. Alright, now I do want to have some of my stuff back, so we'll take a moment, eat our rations, and build up a little bit. Not sure where I picked up the rotten food. Which is a bit of a misnomer. I mean, it is not good, but it does actually still restore. It does not harm you, which is good. At least not in... Whoa! Jesus. Gotta pay attention for those traps. I have been killed by trap. In fact, I played through this game from start to finish almost in one go. This isn't the exit, is it? No, good. I don't want it to be the exit just yet. It's too early. I started the game once, barely started it, died due to a pit or a spike trap, and then started over again and beat the game. So that's another thing too, is the game is challenging. There were several times where I was in trouble. I had to use my items very carefully in order not to die. But it's not necessarily the repetitious, brutal difficulty from Dark Souls-like games. And I will draw some parallels to Dark Souls, because this game's control scheme is very similar to Dark Souls. But I would also say that the difficulty is actually not a bad thing. One problem with Dark Souls, and I mean it was a curse and a blessing at the same time, was its difficulty. Dark Souls is a very hard game, and I love Dark Souls. I played Dark Souls on the channel. Not a whole lot, but I played it. I don't want to eat that. And I love Dark Souls too, but I also have a lot of friends who can't really get into Dark Souls because its difficulty is so prohibitive. It's just too difficult for them to get into, so they don't really have fun with it, and they don't really want to play it. But this game, while it's challenging, is not just completely ridiculously difficult. It's manageable. And multiplayer, which means when my friends do get this game, I'll be able to play it with them. And actually, on that note, by the way, I am looking for volunteers. Just like I did with Pulsar, which will hopefully be starting recording as of this coming Sunday. And some of the more time matches that we've done with our viewers. If any of you out there have this game and are looking to play it, I am looking for volunteers. Okay, before we run in there, we should see about crafting. See, as we pick up stuff, we can craft new items. As you progress through the game, you can also use your gems to buy new recipes, which will, in turn, help you get through the game. Now that we've gone ahead and crafted an iron ration, we can get a lot of health back. Bring it on, ugly. Womp, 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 and womp. You're dead. I win. Really, really want to find a better sword. That would be nice. Sometimes they've got equipment in them too, so if you can break them open, it's good. And these things are kind of fun too. Zura the Mist, who trusted in her illusions. When those failed, she succumbed to contusions. Protected Gru habitat. Nice. For those who may not have picked up on it, by the way, what that little wall reading was basically saying is she liked her illusions. When they stopped working, she got hit in the head real hard and died. At least I'm pretty sure that's what a contusion is. There we go. Hey there, guys. Waha! Ooh, that's different. The last one I used had a very different attack pattern for that. It's got a bit more Blade Dancer to it. Oh, I hate these guys with the shields early in. It's not as easy to get up close and personal with them as I'd like it to be sometimes. There we go. Oh, shit. No! I was not looking for more friends right now. I want to open my chest. Go away! Box. Wait, what did I just do? Oh, I just picked up a pyramid thing, didn't I? Yeah, I don't want that one. I want to open the box. Box, box, box. What's in the box? Unknown potions. I'm trying not to use those unless I have to, because it's a little risky to just drink random crap. Don't step on those, it's bad. As you can probably tell. But I will take them with me so that when I get to the end, whew, I should be able to buy a potion of Identify, which will allow me to... Hey, here we are. Boy, I might need to go back and find the rest of the stuff in this level. The potion of Identify, which should allow me to find out what all the rest of these do. Let's see, the shopkeeper should be around here somewhere. Let's go find him real quick. Whoops. Trot my way right up here. Okay, he's apparently not up here. Another thing we can do while we are here, though, before I head off, is this. Now, this part's a little cryptic, and I do wish that this was a little clearer. You can buy these with those same skill points. And they all have various effects, but they don't really tell you exactly what they do. Some of them are more obvious than others. So, for example, this one, eating is overrated. Man, I ain't hungry, I already ate 3 weeks ago. Means you can go longer without eating food before your stamina starts to deplete on its own. Berserking is hit, is other hit, soon all hit, much good. No idea what that means. Maybe the more times you hit, the more damage you do. 50, 40 is a lot of money. What do you need? 34. You don't want to part with it, and I don't want to pay for it. Let's meet in the middle. That might be better bargaining, but we don't really know. You kind of have to experiment and play with them. So I'm going to hold off on buying them just yet, because I'm really mostly interested in unlocking new characters to see if I can get any higher ranked characters. Now, I don't have enough gems for this right now, I don't think. You need 500. I could probably get that. Well, I don't know if I can get that. I might be able to get that by going upstairs. Because there's all these pots you can break. Whoosh. There we are. Hey there, old guy. I'm gonna buy one of those from you. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. And we'll break all the pots. Because real quick, we want to see how much money we can get. I probably won't be able to get 500, but what you do at the end of each of those is you can spend the gems that you've earned to basically receive what they call a blessing of the gods or whatever, and it will increase your maximum health bar. So if you can do that, I recommend doing that. Not precisely sure why this is here. He usually gives you crap for looking at those. Sometimes he'll tell you that you shouldn't be looking at them, you should be looking at the thing that's about to kill you. Or how it's funny how some of the adventurers could take days or even weeks to draw these things, and others will die in the blink of an eye, you know, stuff like that. It's much like early 4th Age style, but with more bloodstains. Yep, I had gathered that much. So we're at 417. What I would probably do in this situation is I would go ahead and just head back, because there are parts of this level we have not explored, which might allow me to find more items that I could use, allow me to get the gold that I need so I can get the health boost, etc., etc. But I don't really want to make you guys sit through all that. So I will probably do another episode on this game, maybe when I get a little further in, so I can show you guys some of the different environments, different games, kind of show you what the late stage thing is. But I'm going to wander back this way as I sort of give my final thoughts on the game as a whole. The game is fairly short. It only goes down about 9 floors. But I'm okay with that, even though a lot of people aren't, and I'll tell you why. And this is something that I've actually been meaning to bring up for kind of a long time. There are a lot of games now that seem to just take longer than they need to for no reason whatsoever. And examples of that would be like, I don't want to say, I mean, like pointless fetch quests and busy work. Collectibles are horrible about this. You know, they give you hundreds of things to find, like the Batman games, which are great games. Love the Arkham Asylum series, the Arkham games as a whole. They're amazing. But they require you to find like 400 Riddler trophies if you want to complete everything. And they require you to take down, like Arkham Knight needed like 22 strongholds to be taken out, and 22 checkpoints to be taken out, and a whole bunch of little road mines had to be taken out. And I feel like they do that because it gives everybody the impression that the longer it takes to beat a game, the more value you got out of the game. And I don't agree with that. I think that the best thing that a game can do is to be the best that it is. If you have fun playing a game for 5 hours and you had a blast playing it, then it was worth the money. That's how I feel about this game. This game isn't tremendously long, but it's a great game. And I finished the game and immediately started playing it again, because I think it's awesome. Uh-oh. Oh boy. This might have been a mistake. I can't move. Yee. Time to go. Time to go. Oh my god. And it's still challenging. Can't deny that. Okay, I don't want to eat an unknown potion. Do I not have anything that can help here? Right. I do have a scroll of identification, but they're not going to give me enough time to read it. Oh no! And there I go. So see, it's challenging. The early floors are more difficult, because by the later floors you've got more stuff put together. This will show me all my unlocked dies. I will keep any codexes I've unlocked and any skill points that I've earned. So those will hold over from file to file. It's probably better now that I'm not doing this anyway, so I can more clearly relate to you what I'm thinking. So, I think it's a great game. There are probably things that could have been done better. The crafting system is fine, but maybe isn't as robust as it could have been. The items are varied, but maybe the attack animations aren't quite as varied as they could have been, and they could have done more of a lot of things. I haven't given up hope of the thought of DLC releases or expansions or something so that they can add more floors to the game, because they certainly feel like they've left it open for that. And I think that would be really cool if they just sort of added new enemy types and new environments and things like that. And that's not unheard of for Hare Brained Schemes. I mean, they did that with the Shadowrun games, where they released originally, I think, Dragonfall was an expansion on the original game before they turned it into its own standalone edition. And so they could do that with this and maybe add more floors or more enemies, more items, stuff like that. But at the same time, it doesn't have to have a super robust system for all those because of its length. And its length, to me, is kind of perfect, and I feel like it's the same. I like it for the same reason I liked Delver, which is another fantastic roguelike game that I played a very long time ago, and I said this was pretty much the perfect length for a roguelike. And that one only went down like 10 floors, and then you had to get out. And it's great because you don't feel like you've wasted hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of your life investing into this one character, and then one unfortunate break and you die. You might die a couple of, like 4 or 5 floors in, but you only lose maybe an hour or two, and then you start over with a new character. You've unlocked new codexes, things to give you a little bit of a boost, and you make it through and you keep going further and further each time. So a short game length in a game like this, to me, is better. Plus, it gives you that much more time to start over and start a new character and try different weapon sets and experiment with potions more and play through it a slightly different way. And the other thing that I feel like is a huge, huge bonus to a game like this is multiplayer. And I haven't even gotten to play it yet, and I can't wait to get that opportunity. Because playing with your friends increases the number of enemies that appear. It also allows them to revive you. Team attack is turned on, so there's a lot of hilarity possibilities there as you're trying frantically not to get beaten by your own teammates, and you have to communicate. I think that's a lot of fun. And games like Dark Souls and a lot of other roguelike games don't really have multiplayer with your friends. Dark Souls 3 did implement that with a password system where you can have your friends join you, but you get one friend, and it's very situational. If you've beaten the boss, you can't call the friend in. If you die, the friend disappears, and you have to start the process over. And it's a great game, but it doesn't give you the ability to go dungeon crawling with your friends in the same way that this does. So my bottom line is, for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this game probably an 8. I think it's great. Could it have improved in a few places? Probably. Is it possible for them to improve it later? Seems pretty likely to me that they could do that. And for what I wanted this game to be, they pretty much hit the nail on the head. They gave me a delightful humor sense, a dungeon crawl with my friends, a fantastic art style, and it's a procedurally generated dungeon. I have heard that there are limited tile sets, so you start being able to kind of predict where things are as you learn the maps and the tiles. But again, they could add more to it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if they're arranged differently, it still switches things up. And sometimes it might be kind of nice to recognize where things are. It helps you to progress through the game faster later on. So, I strongly encourage anybody that likes this kind of game, roguelikes and games that you can play with their friends, to please check this game out. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on it, and I don't feel it deserves a lot of the negativity that it gets. And I'm not to discredit anybody's opinions, because, whatever you think is totally fine. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But just don't reject it out of hand, please, because of everything that you've seen. If this is a game that looks like fun, please try it. don't just read the review and casually toss it aside, because I think that this game deserves a lot more credit than it's been getting. So with that, I'm all out of time for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please let me know by hitting the like button, leaving comments in the section below. As I said before, I'm looking for volunteers for this game. I'd love to do more of it, and I'd love to play it multiplayer. So if you get a hold of it and you're interested in playing with me, you can hit me up on Twitter at Brascus, or using the email address that is on the About tab on my YouTube page. Either way, shoot me a message, let me know that you're interested, and we'll try to get together with a group, or whoever's available, and see how far we can get through Necropolis. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.